I loved what you said, Akriti. There is a possibility that someone can copy your designs or remake your designs, but your journey cannot be borrowed, your purpose cannot be loaned,
Definitely.
and especially the heart and soul that you put into what you do, that is something that stands out. That cannot be
Yes,
copied.
yes. That is the essence of what I'm trying to build and what my story is. That
Yeah.
can't be copied. I had this one urge, like मेरे में बहुत starting से एक चीज़ था that I want to do something बहुत fast. Like I'm very very quick. I'm very fast at things. I can't sit and I can't wait for things
Yeah.
to come to me. Just say okay मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा. I mean today if there's one challenge, next day I will just sit back, think, figure it out how the way should be moving forward, and then I'll come back stronger. That's how I have been. That's how resilient I am.
So it's all about learning on the job. It's all about trying till you succeed.
Definitely.
Businesses are all about that, and especially, like we were speaking about this before, that especially when you have a fashion brand, and the fashion industry is huge and humongous outside.
Absolutely.
There's so much of competition already. There are a
Absolutely.
number of brands.
Absolutely.
And being in the marketplace with so much of competition outside.
Since in my initial years I wasn't from any business school, so my classroom was the real world.
Yeah.
That's where I get to learn everything. Because if your company is bootstrapped and you have started with very limited funds, it's very important for you to get a hold of some cash flow in order to fulfill the orders, keep the orders running. Because scaling isn't just about, as I said, that you keep on selling more pieces,
Yeah.
but it's also about making a strong foundation, a strong team while building it.
Yes. You've built a very strong foundation. You have a fabulous team, like you said. But I completely agree that sustaining
Yeah.
this success or sustaining this bandwidth is also not easy. It is
Absolutely.
a everyday journey. You have to, show up.
Yeah,
every
definitely.
single
Like
day.
you must have heard that success is rented.
And like we
Yeah.
spoke before, I've seen a few of your designs. Your actually designs are a little unique and a little different from what the other brands are outside. We'll come to that in our next question.
For sure, for sure. Women Icons of India is such a powerful and meaningful platform. Rupali, you have done an amazing job that you have truly created a remarkable stage for celebrating women achievements. When we come here and share our stories, it gives courage to countless others who still want to do something but they don't have the confidence yet to leap. It's a reminder that women lifting another woman creates a ripple effect that can change not just individual lives but society as a whole. So, thanks a lot, Rupali, for having me here and giving me this amazing opportunity.
Hi, Akriti. Thank you so much for coming and welcome to the podcast of Women Icons of India. How are you?
Hi, Rupali, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Thank you so much. I would love to thank you for having me here and inviting me here on one of your amazing platform.
It's such a pleasure, Akriti. Let's dive right into what I really want to ask you. You are a founder of a fashion brand.
Yes.
What has been your background like? How has your upbringing shaped you? Especially this entrepreneurial journey. What inspired you and, how did you start your brand?
Honestly, Rupali, since the start, I was a very stubborn kid.
Okay.
If I put my mind onto something, I wouldn't just let it go. And growing up, I wasn't really like a studious kind of kid, but I was very sharp. I was someone who was always full of energy and someone who always wanted to keep on doing something. My mind was never quiet. Like I was never someone who was going to sit idle or do nothing on their own. So that's how my early days were.
Yeah. So you were always up to something as a kid.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And as you know, there are two innate qualities that every human being has. First is the urge to explore,
Yeah.
and the urge to create.
Yeah.
So I think my parents pushing me to find my own talents and developing my own skills acted as a stepping stone towards shaping my creative edge and my entrepreneurial mindset. So, since the start, I had this curiosity to explore what is familiar to me, to explore beyond what is familiar to me. And I think that's what actually started that that's where it actually started. So my love for art and design, combining it with my problem solving skill and my urge to create something, shaped me into an entrepreneur. And now talking about my inspiration, definitely my inspiration growing up has definitely been my dad, because he came from background where opportunities were very limited, but still through immense hard work he built a life that was very much stable for us and for our family. And till now I drive all my strength from my dad only. The hunger, the thrust, the drive is something which I have inherited from him. So, from my background, if I say that even while we were growing up, my parents were very different. The way we are brought up has been in a very different way.
Yeah.
Even though I was the eldest, but still my parents never really forced us to take a usual career path or score, let's say, some amount of marks that you have to
Yeah.
score 90% or 95% above. No, there were times I still remember that even though I scored 60%, but still it was celebrated.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was still celebrated. There was still like a small party, because that's how they were. Like
Yeah.
they never really intended that you are supposed to do this and you are supposed to do that. So I feel the freedom they gave me,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
the mindset that really, the mindset they already had since the start is something which made me really unstoppable, and made me today who I am.
So, Akriti, how did the idea of Denovo come to life? First of all, I really want to know, what does the brand name Denovo mean? And, starting a business all by yourself is definitely not easy. And I'm sure you must have faced so many challenges. So, what are the kind of challenges that you faced and how did you overcome them?
I think it started with the quest in me of creating something of my own. I really wanted something to create so big that it consumes me. And but I wasn't sure how to do it, what to do, where to do. So it was the time in my initial years of college when I finally moved to Mumbai, and I started my college as a in fashion design. So how I started was that in my, I think, second year only, I started doing drop shipping. Okay, it was international drop shipping what I started. Then later on, I did Indian drop shipping also. Post that, I did print on demand business also. So there
Okay.
were mix of things, like it this is a story of altogether on its
Lovely.
own.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't want to dive deep into it, but these are few things which I kept on doing
Tried. You
till,
tried a
yes.
few, yeah.
Yes, I tried out few things. I learned throughout the way that how it is done and how you
Yeah.
make something of your own, how to start, how to run ads. So this was the journey of how I started and pushed myself into business. But it wasn't really just satisfying enough for me. That wasn't what I actually wanted, because I wanted to fully immerse myself into some idea or into something which I feel really excited
Yeah.
about working for every morning and every night. So that's how I got an idea of, let me start a new brand of clothing, because I wanted to, because that time I decided, okay, let me bring up my deep love for fashion
Yeah.
and my knowledge of design, combining it with my quest that I want to build a brand of my own.
Something
These,
meaningful,
yes,
basically.
something meaningful.
Yeah.
This everything combined, and I got this idea of making Denovo to life. And the moment I jumped into this, and the from the very next day I started building my business, and I had this feeling which I wanted to feel from a very long time, and that was the time when it gave me ki, okay, this is what I really wanted to
Want to
do.
do. Yeah.
And that was it. Like from that time, I still remember, it's been 4 5 years, and I'm still working on my business
Lovely.
every single day, and month by month. And yeah, that's all about it. And as I just mentioned, that I was doing so many things side by side and wanted to, I was just trying to explore.
Yeah.
And so Denovo means that a fresh beginning, it's a fresh start.
Oh,
So it
lovely.
was so much relatable to me, because as I was trying out different things and a few ventures and so many stuff all together, and it had already been 2 years, and then later on I got the idea of Denovo. So I thought, okay, this name has to be the best name, because the name itself says that it's a fresh beginning. It's
It
a
talks
fresh
about your
start.
journey.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I thought, yes, this is Denovo is actually a Latin word, and that's how I just thought, okay, this has to be the name to my business. And now coming to your another part of what was my early challenge.
Yeah.
So I think the early challenge was when I had actually started my business, and things were running in because I had already taken a small amount of money by my dad, and I started to invest in my business, and things were actually running in, orders were kicking in, and then finally I hit a wall where I just ran out of cash. I ran out of money.
Okay.
So in the journey,
That's the story of every entrepreneur, I
yes,
guess. Yeah.
absolutely. Because you don't really start the best way where you
Yeah.
go
You
for a
learn a lot,
funding.
yeah.
Yeah, like, and I was just, I think 21, 22 years of age. I didn't even complete the college. And I had this one urge, like, मेरे में बहुत starting से एक चीज़ था that I want to do something बहुत fast. Like, I'm very, very quick. I'm very fast at things. I can't sit and I can't wait for things
Yeah.
to come to me. I'm like, okay, I want this. The next day से मैं उसके लिए काम करूँगी, and third, fourth day I want the result of it, or actually the plan in action.
Yeah.
So that time I ran out of cash, I ran out of money. I remember I had so many orders to fulfill, and that was one of the, like, you can't say the biggest challenge, but the early day challenge which you face.
Tough time,
because
yeah.
yes, definitely, because even if I compare it with this time, obviously I know that how easy it is to, like, if you have this in your mind that if you want to do something, it's okay, there are ways to raise funds and all. But being a student, being a college student, that too in your just initial years of your fashion design college, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And I was from a family where my family was very supportive, but to some extent they also helped me out. Like, my father helped me out fund my business so much, but obviously there was one limit to it.
Of course, yeah.
And that was my early life challenge, but somehow I overcome that, and I took a loan. Like, it was straight a bank loan. I just convinced my dad, no, you have to do something. I want to do something, and you have to grant me a loan. So he was like, okay, theek hai, let me talk to the banks and we'll see about it. So he was like, okay, first you complete your college, and you don't have to do anything as of now. First you have to complete your college, and the moment you are done with your degree, and then we'll talk about it. So somehow or the other, like, I kept on doing my business. There were so many times we we went bankrupt, or at the verge of going bankrupt. But yeah, I evolved, I think, powerful than ever after those situations. So yeah, that's how my initial money, the chunk of money I made and I got for my business, for running the business and keeping it afloat.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So they say that, every setback makes you more resilient.
Yes.
And it gives you more power to push back and do better the next time.
Absolutely.
That is exactly what reflects in your
Absolutely,
story, what you
absolutely. Because
said.
I wasn't someone who's going to, like, just say, okay, mere se nahi ho payega. I mean, today if there's one challenge, next day I will just sit back, think, figure it out, how the way should be moving forward, and then I'll come back stronger. That's how I have been. That's how resilient I am.
Yeah. So, Akriti, you've built your brand into a multi-crore business, and that too in a relatively very short period of time. So, how have you been able to scale it up, and what has customer response been?
So the journey, Rupali, the journey of Denovo has been anything but overnight. What people often see today is the numbers, the scale, the reach.
Yeah.
But it's actually the compounding of years of hard work,
Yeah.
and resilience and trial and error and constant learning. Since in my initial years I wasn't from any business school, so my classroom was the real world.
Yeah.
That's where I get to learn everything. So those 4 years, so even in that time, I made mistakes, faced losses, and tried out strategies that didn't work. So those 4 years were all about learning how to build a brand and how to turn a store into something that stands for more. Once I had the foundations of learning, things started to change and move very quickly. Within a year of just applying what I had learned the hard way, we scaled to hitting revenue, like monthly revenue in crores.
Wow.
But as I always say, that what looks overnight success is actually the compounding of
Yeah.
years of hard work and learning, and so much of resilience and showing up every single day.
True.
And it doesn't really just stop there. I'll tell you why. Just when we thought that we have figured out the most difficult part, there came a new biggest challenge, which was managing the business at scale.
Yeah.
The strategies that worked when we were doing 20 to 30 orders a day stopped working anymore because we had already hit 200 plus orders a day.
Wow.
Suddenly, there were hundreds of customers that you have to manage, and that came with its own complexities.
Absolutely.
And when I say customers, it's not just the people who buy from you. It's those 100 queries that you have to instantly reply to, the customers customization needs that you have to cater to, because that it happens in a business that some customers want it in this particular way, they want
Correct.
length longer,
Correct.
or they want the color to be changed. So these are the things which is there. So suddenly there are so many customers and you have to manage it, and things like that. So it was very difficult to scale. I mean, it was very difficult to manage the business at this scale,
Yeah.
because we were also trying our best to give them the best possible experience
Yeah.
at Denovo. I'm very lucky that I was able to make a team who was very good at their job at whatever I delegate to them.
Yeah.
I have to wholeheartedly thank them, because they have been able to be the backbone at Denovo and make it possible at Denovo. They managed each and every queries. They handled the customers in spite of their working hours. I mean, I remember there were times that my factory was running till 12 at night because we had so many orders to fulfill.
Wow, okay.
My team members, they were not going home because they were like, no, we can't leave you like this. You already have so much work on your plate. So we will stay. We will manage everything. There were so many customers, because when the orders are less, you actually kind of do so many things on a manual level.
Yeah.
आप manually सबको reply करते हो. There's a team, okay, there's a shorter small amount of team वो reply कर देंगी on Instagram. They will
Correct.
take the queries on email, or they will take the answers. But managing around, like, if you say that 200 orders you are getting, then definitely you will be getting
Absolutely,
400 to
yes.
500 queries a
Yes,
day.
yes.
If you do not respond to them, then you will be called as the brand is not good, because they are not responding.
Yeah.
As a customer, what will you think that, okay, we tried to connect with the brand but we couldn't. This is
yeah.
not a good brand.
It also affects the sales.
Exactly. So that's how, I mean, the amount of customers increased, and but yeah, I was lucky enough that my team handled it in a very perfect manner. Even the back end was handled at a very efficient way. Scaling isn't just about selling more pieces. It's a big game of inventory and supply chain altogether. Earlier we were managing 30 to 50 SKUs. Now we have 400 plus designs. So keeping a track of inventory, ensuring smooth supply chain, and minimizing errors is one of the toughest part of running a business at this scale.
Yeah. It definitely sounds a lot. There is a lot that's going on. And like I said earlier, that, being a sole owner and a bootstrapped brand, this definitely is a huge scale.
Well, that said, currently me and my entire team is working extremely hard to manage it in a more efficient and better way, because being a founder is not just about setting a system and leaving it up to your team.
True.
And I feel the entire focus of mine as of now is going towards making a better system and making a better process.
Yeah.
And that's what I go to office and I have to work on. I feel the entire day of mine goes into solving one new challenge after another,
Every
because
day.
that's what the real growth is.
Yeah.
That life will just give you another challenge, and you have to sit, figure it out, and then move forward with it.
True. Yeah.
Now, talking about the second part, now referring to the second part of your question, which was about the customers.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful, like as of now, 50% of them are our repeat buyers, and
Lovely.
that speaks volumes about how much they love the brand and how much they love our clothing. Like I'm so thankful to them, because to be honest, sometimes I just feel, what have I created that I get so much amount of love from my customers.
Yeah.
There are times when they like personally message me on my Instagram handle that I shopped your products and I have loved them. I would love to shop more, and a little more feedback if they have. So this is something whenever I get those sort of reviews, I just circle back to the first day or the first point or my initial days, that what just did
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
create that in order to get so much of love. So that's how my customers are, and I absolutely love them because they are the real star in my entire story.
Lovely. So it's all about learning on the job. It's all about trying till you succeed.
Definitely.
Businesses are all about that. And especially, like we were speaking about this before, that especially when you have a fashion brand, and the fashion industry is huge and humongous outside. There is
Absolutely.
so much of competition already. There are n
Absolutely.
number of brands.
Absolutely.
And being in the marketplace with so much of competition outside, having your, making your mark, and basically being prominent with your niche is
Definitely.
something that is very commendable.
That
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
that's what your originality is, because
Yes.
there are so many other brands as well. Why will someone I
True.
mean, these days, it's very difficult to retain a loyal customer base.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
because I mean, there's no concept about it anymore.
Yeah.
Long time ago, like, it has to be there. I mean, it used to be there. I mean, like how our fathers or mothers
Yeah.
used to shop कि अगर एक brand से ले रहे
Correct.
तो वहीं
वहीं
से
से
लेंगे.
लेना है, हाँ.
Exactly, वो चीज़ें तो अब नहीं है,
नहीं
for
है.
sure. And in this competitive market, if you have to retain the customers, and we are able to keep 40% to 50% of them as our repeat buyers. So definitely I feel customers are the real heroes of my entire story.
Absolutely. And like we
Yeah.
spoke before, I've seen a few of your designs. Your actually designs are a little unique and a little different from what the other brands are outside. We'll come to that in our next question.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So yes, Rupali, we scale fast, but behind the speed, there's 4 years of immense hard work,
Yes, I agree.
resilience, and amount of work which we have put as a
True.
team, and then only we were able to do it. And but yeah, when things started to click, I was able to make the money I lost in the initial 4 years. I was able to make, and I
Rec-
was able to recover all
recover
of it
Yeah.
in just a span of maybe 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
So that's how the journey unfolds, and you just have to keep going and keep trusting your hard work. And now the biggest challenge is to make better system, better process which handles this growth, because scaling isn't just about, as I said, that you keep on selling more pieces,
Yeah.
but it's also about making a strong foundation, a strong team while building it.
Yes. You've built a very strong foundation. You have a fabulous team, like you said. But I completely agree that sustaining
Yeah.
this success or sustaining this bandwidth is also not easy. It is a
Absolutely.
everyday journey. You have to, show up
Yeah,
every
definitely.
single
Like,
day.
you must have heard that success is rented. It's absolutely
Yes,
true, because
yes.
one day, or let's say 1 month, 1 week, if you're not working,
So true,
it will be
yeah.
gone. You
Agree.
have to work for
Yeah.
it every single day and keep moving with it. It's something like, I used to I've heard this quote before, that it's said that success is rented. I
Yeah.
never really understood this quote unless this time, when I
Yeah.
got to know that yes, you have to keep pushing yourself
Yeah.
every single day at it.
Absolutely. And unless and until you don't put your heart and soul in what you do, showing up in the exact similar way every single day is not possible.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of grit, a lot of resilience, and a lot of passion to
100%.
continue what you're doing, and that too every single day.
Yes, absolutely. You're very right.
So, how would you describe the essence of your designs and what makes Denovo recognizable?
I'm so glad, Rupali, that you brought that up.
Yeah.
So, we make pieces that every other woman or girl think about कि ओ यार ऐसा ड्रेस होना चाहिए था, ये ड्रेस
Yeah.
नहीं मिल रहा है किसी ब्रांड में. I'm looking for something of this sort. So we are a brand that makes dresses of that kind,
Wow.
which every woman or every girl dreams to have in
Have
their
it, yeah.
in their wardrobe.
Yeah.
So we make dresses for every occasion, be it any business event or something which is like a casual brunch date, or if you want to go out for your evening party. We make all sorts of dresses. Even if you want something with a slight twist and freshness to your little black dress.
Wow.
That also we make. And we make we have really good resort wears. If you are looking forward to go on your next vacation, Denovo has to be your perfect fit for that.
Yeah.
If you are seeing something which is very colorful, very bubbly, that has to be Denovo.
Denovo.
Yeah, that has to be Denovo.
Yeah. But earlier you mentioned that you do some kind of customization also. That is something, I think that is something which is, I don't see a lot of brands doing. Do you still do it, or you used to do it, or how does that go?
So Rupali, to be honest, yes, we were into customizing orders, but as we started to scale the brand, that
Yeah.
became a very big challenge.
Absolutely, yes.
Because every day our factory is in chaos because we have to dispatch 200, 300 plus
Yeah.
orders. And so as of now, we are not providing customizations on each and every order. There's a specific collection
Yeah.
in my brand where you'll be able to get your orders customized.
Because I think your sizes are internationally accepted enough. So I don't think so a lot of customization now
Yes.
is required.
Yes. That's no, yeah. That is definitely the case. But however, customers do want the length to be increased.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
our dresses are usually short because the idea and the designs are sort of internationally and
Yeah.
westernized.
Yeah.
So yes, our customers, and since I have customers who are 27 plus. So for them, you have to keep a little
Yeah.
this thing open, that if
Yeah.
yes, if you want to customize the length and
get it.
everything, we do that.
So Akriti, like we spoke earlier, fashion industry is very competitive. So how do you handle this competition while staying authentic to your vision?
Yes, Rupali, you're absolutely right. Fashion is very competitive.
True. Yeah.
But I don't see other brands as my competition, to be honest, because I have a very simple approach to this, that I start to remind myself the reason why I started in the
Wow.
first
Yeah.
place. For me, it's never about competition because I believe nobody can copy my story, my vision, or the essence of what I'm trying to build. So instead of thinking about competition, I put my energy into building my products, because my purpose is very clear in this, that I am here to create something for my customers.
Yeah.
That truly make them feel celebrated when they wear my clothes. So my purpose is very clear in this way, that we are a very customer centric brand, and I understand my customers and I create for them. That is what my originality is, and that's something which nobody can take from me.
Lovely.
So that is the approach how I take competition as. And so the my customers totally trust our products, and that's the reason our demand is always higher than
Yeah.
the supply.
Yeah.
And if my customers are only accepting me, then where does the competition lie?
Absolutely.
Because the
Yeah.
entire story goes on. I am making designs, we are doing production, and my pieces are getting sold out. So I think there's no room for competition.
Yeah.
here, because I am loved by my customers. So that is something which I don't truly put my energy into. And when I hold on to this purpose, competition doesn't really threaten me. Instead, it just pushes me to grow and evolve.
I loved what you said, Akriti. There is a possibility that someone can copy your designs or remake your designs, but your journey cannot be borrowed, your purpose cannot be loaned.
Definitely.
And especially the heart and soul that you put into what you do, that is something that stands out. That cannot be copied.
Yes. That is the essence of what I'm trying to build and what my story is. That
Yeah.
can't be copied.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Akriti, what is that one core mantra that keeps you going every single day?
So, my one core mantra comes from Bhagavad Gita, which says that you have to put on your hard work without desperately thinking about the results of it.
Outcome. Yeah.
And you don't have to keep on thinking about the outcome. That is one thing which I have carried since the start till my days of my entrepreneurship journey. I focus on, I put my hard work into my journey, and I don't really think of what the result is going to be. I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe the universe has its own way of giving
Yeah.
you back.
Yeah.
So let's say if you're putting your energy into something, if you're putting your honest hard work into
Yeah.
something, it is going to be come back.
Yeah.
There may be chances that वो रिजल्ट 10 टाइम्स ज़्यादा होकर आपके पास आएगा. एंड दैट इज़ वॉट आई फील दैट यू हैव टू कीप ऑन गोइंग विदाउट थिंकिंग अबाउट द रिजल्ट, बिकॉज वॉट एवर यू डू, वॉट एवर you put out over there, it will come back.
Yes.
It will come back while in the ways that you couldn't have, you wouldn't even imagine
Imagine,
as.
yeah.
So that is one thing which keeps me going as in my journey.
So, Akriti, what is that one financial advice which you can give to aspiring entrepreneurs who want to build a sustainable business?
If I had to give one financial advice, it would be around cash flow. Don't chase big numbers, chase smart numbers. It's very tempting to spend fast, but sustainability comes when you manage your cash flow wisely.
Correct, yeah.
So keep your costs lean, reinvest every rupee back into the business, and always remember, profit is sexy, but cash flow is survival. If you see, everybody loves talking about revenue. It makes you look successful. Profit makes you look smart, but cash flow is that one thing which will decide if your mind will be sane, if your business will be sustainable in the longer run,
yes,
or not.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this is something which I have learned from Gujrati's way of doing business, because I have always wanted to learn. Like, I was always around my friends who are Gujratis, and every time I moved to Mumbai.
Yeah.
So this was one thing which I wanted to learn from them, that the kind of business they make, and how good they are in the technical way of finance. This is something which I really wanted to learn from a very long time, and I got this learning from them only, the way how they manage their money and how they manage the business, how they manage the cash flow. They are very tight at these things, and that is one financial advice I really want other entrepreneurs who are the emerging entrepreneurs to learn, because you can't be just chasing and talking about the revenues and how much amount of sales you're generating.
Correct.
But in the end, you need to see that how much, because see, if till a point of time, you have to also get back something from the business. Like in my case, I have invested more than 5 to 6 years in the business. If at this time, if I'm not generating enough profit, that makes my cash flow big, and which also supports my business, which also gives me a little, so that I can also support my family, or not just supporting, if I'm able to do something for my family, I think that is very much required. So I believe this is my way of doing business. I might be wrong or I might be right. There might be people who have different perspective to it, but I have always loved the idea of making a profitable business and going ahead with this. So that is what I really tell new entrepreneurs also whenever I meet them in my like personal lives and everything. So this is one thing which I keep on going.
So that's so true. When you start a business, it's the learning curve, it's the working hard. It is inevitable that whenever you start any kind of business, you will land up working hard. But to sustain that business, you have to work smart.
Yeah.
That is what will keep the
Absolutely, absolutely. To keep the business running, you need cash flow in your hand. And I always say, even when you're starting a business, you need some amount of money to put into it, because business run after you invest into it. Okay, ये बात सही है that पैसे से ही पैसा बनता है, and I totally agree to that, because you'll never really find me saying that I started my business with let's say 35,000 rupees or 45,000 rupees. It's not possible, okay? Because even if you start anything, even if you don't put your manufacturing unit, but if you are outsourcing, still you need fabric rolls to buy, you need vendors to set up, shipping and logistics to set up, or even if producing one small batch of products. So that small amount of money is good to give it a start, to give it a push, but ultimately this is a truth that you need to invest money in your business in order for it to run, generate, and keep the cycle going, and later on you will be able to make money out of it for yourself. Obviously, after a good amount of years. I'm not saying that within a span of 1 or 2 years you'll be able to do that, because I still remember till 4 years of my business, I was just taking out 10,000 rupees salary. So it took time. Now I mean, that's another thing. Now I take a good amount of chunk out of it for myself. But I invested my time. I invested 5 to 6 years. I mean, obviously I have to make something out of it for me, for myself, for my family. So that's one thing I believe that every entrepreneur should know and understand.
And like a true businesswoman, what you've said, पैसा ही पैसे को खींचता है. Another thing that I liked about what you said is, you like the way of Gujaratis, how they do.
Yeah.
Being a Gujarati,
I know that. I know you would comment on that.
being a Gujarati,
Yeah.
I took it as a compliment.
Yeah, that's what. Because see, I come from a service class family.
Yeah.
I've never seen that sort of business running in my house, like in any
Yeah.
family. I wanted to learn this.
Yeah.
When I moved to Mumbai, I really wanted to understand how they do business, how do Jains and Gujaratis and Marwaris, the way they do the business in a very sustainable way. They have cash flow, they
Yeah.
have money in their hand.
Yeah.
That was something I really wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Akriti, we have spoken about your journey, we've spoken about your brand, and everything that you do with your heart and soul in building that brand. Now, I want to know what's next for Denovo.
Okay, well, what's next for Denovo? Let's just say that apart from me figuring out how to get a little more sleep, we'll be rolling out some amazing new designs and collections.
Okay.
You can just think of it as we are plotting to sneak into your wardrobes one
Wow.
fabulous outfit at a time.
Lovely. Yeah.
And just a little spoiler, your Christmas and New Year's is going to be extra sparkling and colorful.
Wow,
So
okay.
stay tuned because your Christmas and party dresses are already in the making.
Lovely. And I was just going to say, it's the biggest season of the year is coming. It's super excited to see new designs, shop new designs, and you just said
Absolutely,
that.
because this is one of my favorite season because
Yeah.
I love to get new collections, and for especially for New Year's and Christmas, this is
Yeah.
one of my favorite seasons where I love the work I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Akriti, here's your rapid fire round.
One word to describe yourself. Dynamic. One word for Denovo. Treasure. Your life mantra in 3 words. Failure is an illusion. A motto you live by. Work without having attachments to the result. Morning ritual you swear by. Starting early. One thing you do before bed. Skincare. A habit you are proud of. My execution skills. A habit you want to quit. It would be sugar. Coffee or chai. What keeps you going? Definitely coffee. One friend who's your 3 a.m. call. Kritika. One regret. No regrets. Most expensive thing you own. My house and my audacity. What's always in your bag? Lip gloss, charger, and cash. One fashion rule you never break. Good nails, good hair with a good Denovo outfit. A fashion trend you hate. I don't like tie and dye. If not fashion, which industry? Obviously food because I'm such a foodie.